So the first thing I want you to do is on the desktop, right-click, click on New, click on Folder. We're going to type in HTML and hit Enter. All right, and then we're going to click Start, and we're going to click Sublime Text 3. I want you to right-click on the icon and pin it to the taskbar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Project, Add Folder to Project, click Desktop, and click HTML. Select the folder, and there you go. Now we have HTML, our project, in here. Now the next thing I want you to do is click File, New File. We're going to hit Control S. And if we go to the desktop and select HTML, it should already be in there. And we're going to type in test.html. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to type out the following. Okay? And now it will autofill. And if you were to hit Enter, it will create a boilerplate for you. What is a boilerplate? Basically, that's the basic tags you need for an HTML page. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through each tag real quickly and just explain what it is. So this top part, doc type, this has to be in every single HTML page that you build, because this is calling for the doc type. So what kind of doc is it? It's HTML. Then the next tag is an HTML tag. You need that in the page because it's HTML. The head tag is what loads first. So when you go on Google and you look up at the top of the tab, you'll see a title in there. And that's where the title tag is put, is inside the head tag. Also inside of here, they will put the link tag for CSS. Sometimes they'll put script tags in there, but it's highly recommended to put JavaScript or script tags in the body at the bottom, okay? Speaking of body, the body is where we put all the content, okay? The main content goes in the body. And you'll notice here that you always close a tag with a slash. So, body's there, and then we close HTML here. So that's the very basics. Now, what I want to do, just real quickly, is we're going to go over some basic tags, and then we're going to continue on in the next video. So, in this instance, what I want to do first is we're going to return 2 times, and I want you to go to line 8, okay? Hit Tab, and we're going to type in the following, H1. Now, you'll see here that it's going to autofill that for you. It should. If it doesn't, that's okay, because we're going to type it out, okay? And we're going to close our bracket there with a slash. So we're going to do left bracket slash H1, okay? So we're going to type, this is my first HTML tag, okay? Very good. Now, if you hit Control, hold Control, and use the right arrow, it will go to the end of the tag. The other trick that you can use is if you're like if you're here and you want to get to the end of the tag, on your keyboard there's an end button. If you hit End, it will go to the end of the tag. And if you wanted to go to the beginning of the tag, you would hit Home. Why am I showing you that? It's just, it makes it easier for you when you're going through. If you know a couple shortcuts, you know, it'll pick up your speed basically when you're learning. So it's just a good tool to know. The other thing I recommend is whenever you are coding anything to get started with, like I'm going to hit Up and I'm going to hit Tab, right? And return. I'm going to show you another, not a tag, but how to comment out code. Okay, so this is my first commented out code. And then we're going to close that with 2 dashes and a right bracket. That is how you would comment out your code. And basically what that means is it's instructions for what this is. So we're going to type, this is my H1 tag, okay? Now, let's go down and hit end, and we're going to return twice, and then we're going to do this again. So we're going to do the same thing, left bracket, exclamation point, dash, dash. This is my H2 tag, okay? And then we're going to type in H2. So we're going to type left bracket, H2, close the bracket, left bracket, slash. And when you type in the slash, it's going to autofill for you. And then we'll hit control, we'll hold control and hit the left arrow, hit it again, and then we'll go to the center of the tag. So this is the H2 tag, okay? Now, we're going to do that with the H3 as well. So this is the H3 tag, okay? We'll close that, we'll end that comment, and then we're going to type it out. H3. This is the H3 tag. Okay. And do it again. This is the H4 tag. Okay. And we're going to type in H4. I'm going to hit enter because it's asking me to autofill. This is the H4 tag, okay? And then let's do H5. So we're going to do this is the H5 tag. Close that, and we're going to do H5, hit enter. This is the H5 tag, okay? And then we're going to do it again. This is the H6 tag. Okay, H6. Not H7, there's no H7. All right, let's close that. This is the H6 tag. All right, that looks good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to render this. So let's right click here. And we're going to click Open in Browser. Now, you can see right here, this is the H1, this is the H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Perfect. Okay, so let's close the browser, and I'm going to do one more thing. We're going to type in the title tag, this is my first web page. We're going to hit Control S to save. Because whenever you make a change, so if I were to hit a space bar, okay, you see this up here, the little dot to my right? When you see that dot, you need to save. So either do File, Save, or do Control S. That way you don't lose your work, because that's the worst feeling in the world is you build out this beautiful website and then you don't save your code. Always, always, always save after you do about, I would do maybe 3 lines of code and then save. And a good rule of thumb is to even do it sooner than that. Do it after 1 line of code and save. It takes 1/10 of a second to hit Control S. You know what I mean? Like you can keep going from there. All right, so in the next video, we're going to continue learning more, excuse me, we're going to continue learning more HTML tags. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.